Simz is not holding any punches. She's not holding anything back. She's being as direct as you can be. I'm speechless. There's so much to unpack on that record that I don't even know where to start. Simz is just on a different level, and she's proved it on this album. What's everyone saying? Hope everyone's well, everyone's good. It's your favorite music connoisseur Henry here, and you know why you're here, and you know why I am here. I am here, guys, to react to Little Simz' sixth studio album, Lotus. I've been waiting for this day since the start of the year, and this day has finally come, guys. We have a new Little Simz project, and obviously just to commemorate this special day, I've got my favorite Little Simz album up on my wall on vinyl right now. You can see it behind me if you've got good eyes, and coincidentally I also have Cleo Soul right next to it, and I mean, that's a bit awkward at this very moment in time, but we shall digress. So excited to get into this album. Like, some of the songs that I've heard off of this album so far, guys, we might be in for another flipping classic. And I always said, yeah, up until this point, that if Little Simz, yeah, has another classic on her hands, because this will be 4 in a row, guys, then we're going to have some really, really comfortable conversations about where we place Simz in the rap pyramid, you know. And I say comfortable because I don't want to say uncomfortable, because it shouldn't be an uncomfortable conversation anymore, because Little Simz already is one of the greats in rap music. I don't care what you say. So these conversations that we place Simz in should be comfortable. But guys, obviously, you know, let me wait and hear this album for the first time, and obviously see where I stand with it. Simz is an absolute legend, you know. Her talent holds no boundaries, and obviously this album, Lotus, I found it very interesting. This is obviously the first album that she's going to be doing without her long-term collaborator, my favorite, you know, producer right now, Inflow. Obviously, we all know what has happened between them. I don't want to get into it, but it's just a shame that obviously these two won't be working together. So obviously this is going to be the first time that she works without him since, obviously, you know, the critically acclaimed Grey Area. I'm intrigued to see how this is going to sound. Obviously, she's now working with a producer called Miles Clinton James. For those of you who don't know, Miles has also worked with Inflow on some of Simz's previous albums, so I'm pretty sure he gets the formula. And I think when I found that out, my mind was a bit at ease, because obviously, you know, the talk going into this album is how's she gonna do without Inflow, because Inflow, let's keep it real, you know, he has definitely helped, you know, Simz just go to a whole different level. So without him, is it going to sound the same? Is it going to be as good? Well, now is Simz's opportunity to prove all the naysayers and doubters wrong, and I'm pretty sure she is going to do it. Also, before I get into the actual review, because I don't want to talk for too long, I found it pretty interesting that she named this album Lotus, because again, for those of you who don't know, Lotus is a metaphor which symbolizes transformation. It serves as a reoccurring theme throughout the album, and obviously this album is essentially about the rebirth of Little Simz, because Simz has come out on a number of interviews saying that she really struggled making this album. She had a lot of self-doubt. Obviously there was a lot of negativity going around, or in and around her circle at this time. And I remember she done an interview for the BBC with Clara Amfo. Shout out to Clara Amfo. And she also performed some of the songs off of this album. And during that interview, yeah, she basically confirmed that, yeah, you know, she found it really difficult making this album. She wasn't even sure she was gonna make music again. You know, that's how much her self-confidence dipped during this album. And she was really proud of herself because she ended up seeing it through, you know what I'm saying, which she didn't think she was going to do at the beginning of making this album. Obviously, lotuses are one of the only plants that can bloom through muddy waters. Now, why is that relevant? Obviously, like I just said, the Little Simz in her interview with Clara Amfo mentioned that, yeah, she had gone through a lot of trials and tribulations during the making of this album. And even though she was going through a tough time, she was still able to, you know, like see it through. She was still able to withstand the storm and obviously make this album. As obviously I've talked for too long, it's time to get into this album. But before I do, guys, I'm gonna need everybody to like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, by the way, guys, we've just started our very own Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Still Colour is now on Patreon, so we would really appreciate if you go on our Patreon and support us. I'm gonna be posting the full uncut reaction on our Patreon. Obviously, you know, I have to cut down some bits of the reaction because of copyright, but I'm going to be posting the full uncut, you know, reaction to this album. So if you want to see that, go on our Patreon. But guys, without further ado, this is Little Simz, this is Lotus, her 6th studio album. Let us go. I'm excited for this one. Let's go. Guys, the first track off of this album is called Thief. This album is 13 tracks long and it's stacked with a bunch of great features, man. I'm seeing the likes of Obongjayar. Obviously, we've already heard Obongjayar and Moonchild on the track Flood. She released that single a few months ago. She's got Miraa, you know, she's got Wretch 3-2, Cashh, Kiwankua, Yussef, Sampha. Listen, these are some great features, man. So yeah, obviously it's 13 tracks long and the first track is called Thief. And listen, this is only my assumption. I have not heard this, but this may have something to do with, you know, inflow. like I said, we all know the story, and you can just tell that Little Simz is feeling betrayed. She's feeling betrayed and she's feeling blindsided by obviously, you know, the situation with Inflow, and you can tell that it's cut her deep, because not only is Inflow, or was Inflow, a long-term collaborator, but he was also a very close friend. Like she had known Inflow for years, like for years upon years upon years. So yeah, guys, I'm pretty sure this might be about Inflow, but let's see how this one sounds. This is Thief. Let's go. Guys, it's confirmed. Listen, how am I escaping? My reasons don't need explaining. 8 months till the Pisces season changes. Why is this Gemini hating? Now, again, for those of you who don't know, Inflow is a Gemini. He was, I think his birthday is in and around when my birthday is. Coincidentally, I'm a Gemini as well. My birthday is actually next week. So yeah, Inflow is a Gemini. So right off the bat, man, that's giving you like a massive clue that, yeah, this is about Inflow. Whew, I don't know if I'm ready for this, guys, but listen, let's carry on, man. Whew, this is deep. This is deep. Can't even lie, the way Simz is not holding any punches, she's not holding anything back, she's being as direct as you can be. My life can't be controlled by no pagan. I was under your spell, now my spirit is awakened. So I don't know why you came in. You weren't popping until I worked with you and added... What? Your name weren't popping until I worked with you and added a whole lot of S. Guys, yo, Simz is on actual smoke. Oh my days. Your name weren't popping until I worked with you and added a whole lot of... Oh, guys, this is too much. Listen, I'm just gonna continue playing it, man. I'll kind of, you know, react to this whole song towards the end. But yeah, this is deep. speechless. That there's so much to unpack on that record that I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh. This has me so conflicted because obviously there's two sides to every story. But the way that Simz, yeah, like she was holding nothing back. She was absolutely coming for blood on this. This was as direct of a shot as you can get. She let it all out. It's like she had all of this built up rage and anger, and she just let it all out on this record, bro. This was venomous. This was cutthroat. This was too, like, what? Guys, how do I even unpack this? Even the line that kind of stood out is the fact that she said, "I'm lucky that I got out. Now it's a shame though, I really feel sorry for your wife." And again, we all know who the wife of Inflow is. It's Cleo. And everybody's been wondering, so where does Cleo and Little Simz stand in all of this? Or where does Cleo stand in all of this? Because obviously she's married to Inflow and she has to stand by Inflow, like, because obviously that's her husband. So automatically she has to do that. But like, obviously their relationship, I mean, Simz and Cleo is never going to be the same because of this. And I just hate that for Cleo, that she's stuck in the middle of this, man, because, but guys, this is, wow, this is, it's such a shock to me how this has all unfolded. Like, these are the last two people that I would have ever thought would ever fall out, bro. Obviously, you don't know these people personally, right? I mean, listen, again, for those who are new to the channel, I work in music, or I used to work in music, right? I have experience at working at major labels, and even, you know, I know one of the guys at Inflow's label, really cool guy, you know, really cool guy, man. I don't think he's involved in any of this. I think this is between Inflow and Simz. But yeah, I know obviously Inflow's business partner, you know, had a couple conversations with him, you know, really sound brother. And obviously when I was working as an A&R at a distribution company, I tried to obviously do a deal with Inflow's Forever Living Originals label, or I tried to obviously inquire about doing a label deal, but obviously it didn't happen. But it should. Obviously, again, I don't know what's true and what's not, so I have to be very careful. Little Simz is accusing Inflow of some pretty damning stuff. And again, there's two sides to every story, but if what Little Simz is saying is true about Inflow, then this is very damaging to Inflow's reputation, not only to his peers, but to the public. You know, as much as Inflow is my favorite producer right now, this is not a good look whatsoever, man. We've got to let the story play out, guys, but yeah, it's very sticky, man, very sticky. This definitely reminds me of, you know, the situation that's going on with Pharrell and Chad, the Neptunes. It's a similar situation, not exactly the same, but it's just heartbreaking. But that to open up an album, that's one of the most hard-hitting tracks you can ever have. Like, again, got to give it up to the production. The production was awesome. That sort of neo soul funk, you know, cinematic production really made this track stand out, man. And Simz's lyrics, yeah, were just so cutthroat and deep, man. Like Simz's delivery as well, like the way that she delivers. She's such a technically gifted rapper, man. You know what I'm saying? But guys, yeah, that was deep, man. I don't even know what to say about that one, man. I'm just, wow. I'm just taken aback. Like, you know when a track just leaves you speechless. It just leaves you absolutely speechless. Like, there's so many things I can unpack, but obviously I have to kind of continue with this. I don't want this. I don't want to spend too much on this, but like, this is, wow. See the contrast between this and No Thank You. No Thank You was directly, I think that was directed for like the executives at the label that Simz was under. I think she's under AWOL, which is obviously under Sony. So I think that album was mainly for them. Like that had nothing to do with Inflow, because obviously Inflow produced that album. But you see how, what, 12, 18 months later, now the tables have turned. Now this is about Inflow. Her disgruntlement and her anger is directed no longer at the label bosses at Able, it's at Inflow. See how the tide has flipped within 18 months. It's fucking crazy. But guys, yeah, so track number 2, you've already heard this. You know, it's called Flood. Obviously, it's featuring Obongjayar and Moonchild, Sanelly. I think this was the first track that she released off of this project, but obviously, for the sake of this album reaction, we're gonna listen to it again. You know, it's a tune. Yeah, this is Flood, guys. Woof! Come on. Come on. That was Flood, man. And you know what? The more and more I listen to that record, man, the more and more I F with it. And just because initially when I heard this, right, I thought the mixing was a bit off, right? Because obviously Simz' vocals sounded a bit like monotone to me, and obviously the production sounded a lot more, you know. But when I actually listened to this track, or the more and more I listened to this track, man, that was definitely done intentionally. It's almost as if Simz is whispering. I'll say as well, like, Obongjayar, like the chemistry that Obongjayar and Little Simz have is just really unmatched. They're quickly becoming one of my favorite duos. And obviously Obongjayar features on another record on this album, which obviously we will hear later on. I heard a snippet of that track, and let me tell you, you see Point and Kill, that song, I can't remember what it is. I think it's Lion. That song is on par with Point and Kill. You just wait. I heard, like I said, a snippet, and the snippet that I heard, guys, is absolutely amazing. I think when I heard this track for the first time, right, it gave me like a little bit of confidence, just from a production standpoint, that this album could be something. Because, you know, if I didn't know any better, if someone told me that Inflow produced this, I would have believed them. So this was the first single that I heard, and this was the first track I heard that gave me a bit of confidence, because yeah, it did not sound out of place whatsoever. And yeah, like obviously the more and more I listen to this track, man, the more and more I like it. I just love the fact that, you know, Little Simz is the type of artist that won't hold back. She won't hold back on how she's feeling. Like, she'll literally pour out every single emotion, every single sense of vulnerability into her art. And this is what makes her the artist that we have today. Like, she is an artist. So track number 3 is called Young. Obviously, she released this single about a couple weeks ago, and it was just very fun, man. Obviously, the music video was absolutely hilarious. The song within itself definitely gives me Mike Skinner / Streets vibes, and I even saw an interview not too long ago when Simz was saying Mike Skinner is one of her inspirations. So yeah, this will make sense. This will definitely make sense why this song sounds the way it does. Definitely a homage to the Streets / Mike Skinner. But yeah, let's listen to it again. This is Young. Come on.
Who's that creeping in my window? I get a hot flash whenever the wind blows.
Hey.
Nothing to my name now, and everybody knows. When I'm in need of cash, I go down to the bingo. Last night I asked Jenny for a quid. This is the 5th time I'm used to taking the piss. A bottle of Rio and some chicken and chips in my fuck me up pumps and my winehouse quiff. Who's that knocking at the front door? It's the mailman.
so fun, man. Listen, I understand if that track might not be for everybody, because when this track got released, obviously I saw a lot of mixed reviews. And listen, again, this is very streets slash Matt Skinner coded, and you know, their music is this very niche, right? It's not going to be pleasant to the ear of a lot of people, especially if you're not British. And even if you're British, some people still might not like it. But I really appreciate like the Little Simz kind of experimenting and going out of her comfort zone, because I've not heard Little Simz sound like this before ever. Like, this is probably a first for Simz. And I think, again, Simz was saying that, you know, on this album, she really wanted to push herself, right? And this is an example of that, man. Like, Simz is very, very versatile, very versatile. It doesn't matter what it is. I've heard Simz on various different genres, man, various different genres. And Simz always keeps a high level of quality, no matter what type of genre or what type of sound she operates in, and that just speaks again to her as an artist, man. Like, she's absolutely phenomenal. So I understand why it's not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, I appreciate, you know, the risk that Simz took, and I appreciate obviously her experimenting and trying something new. And honestly, man, this track is fun. You know, obviously this wasn't, when I heard this for the first time, it wasn't my favorite record, but again, I appreciate the art behind it. And yeah, it's growing on me. I can't even lie, especially the chorus. I think the chorus is the best part of this track, man. It's so catchy, bro. It's so catchy. So yeah, man, shout out to Little Simz for this one, man. For real, shout out to her. But yeah, and obviously it's just her having fun as well. Like, even just speaking in the Cockney accent, like, this is very centered in the British culture. Track number 4 is called Only, and is featuring Lydia Kitto. I've never heard of Lydia Kitto before, you know, so I'm intrigued to hear how she is going to sound. I'm assuming it's a she. Apologies if it's not. But yeah, this is track number 4 and it's called Only. Let's go.
Swept in my BM, yes. Brunch is so cold, we're mission is star chefs.
Yes.
Not they smell it as success. Can't take a break from making dumb checks. Summer spend my ends, pass through the ends. Tattoo on they test, saying the side end. See, I know you wanna live your dreams, baby. Girls in the hood, turn into a queen, baby. And we blessed, no stress to impress. In my arm, and go vest. Nothing to Jamaica, Rome, my bone them. When you see the rusty, you have to salute them. We ain't here for that hateful stuff. It's funny how they always wanna hate to love.
Guys, this production is sounding, mwah! It's sounding so rich, so lavish. Yo. And Little Simz is skating on it. Come on, let's go.
You often come on my day to day. It's only you that want me feel safe to say.
Quite funny, because it's like, I think what Simz has done, right, is like, now she is not, I can't imagine that she's ever going to collab with Inflo and Cleo Soul again, which, you know, is obviously heartbreaking. What Simz has done, and what I'm noticing, is the fact that she's literally replaced them, you know, like, it's like copy paste, like, you know. Obviously the producer side, she's got you know, Miles that's producing the project, and so far, man, it's not sounding like, you know, it's not sounding like the quality has dipped for me. Like, it's sounding like this easily could have been produced by Inflo. So there's that. And then now this Lydia Kitto, she's sounding a lot like Cleo, you know what I'm saying? But she sounds good. So it's like, is that gonna be the new, you know, is she gonna be the new Cleo? Like, Little Simz has literally replaced them. Come on.
I'm always on a road, we be on, but we decide. Being in your arms, freestyle.
guys, oh my days, oh my, that was only, guys. What was that? That was absolutely amazing. And Miles, listen, you are doing yourself a solid right now. You've definitely got my attention because the production right now is just so rich, it's so soulful. Like, you know, it's just, it's honestly, it's like, wow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that's all I can really say. And also, shout out to Lydia Kitto, man. You did an awesome job. You know, Cleo Soul, it's no secret that she's one of my favorite artists. But honestly, what you did on this record, Lydia, like, your vocals, right? Definitely mirrored Cleo. Well, she even brought her own different swag and vibe to it, man, which I absolutely love. So Lydia, I'm definitely gonna look out for you, man. But yo, job, because I'm assuming that if Inflo and Little Simz weren't going through the issues, Cleo would have definitely been on this song because this is tailor made for Cleo. And yeah, guys, that was wow. You can just see Simz, man. Simz was just absolutely in her element. You know what I'm saying? Simz was absolutely in her element. And again, the versatility of Simz, that we can go from a song like Young to a track like Only to a track like Flood. Like in the first 4 tracks alone, Little Simz has shown you her versatility, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that jazzy slash neo soul production, man, like that's Little Simz's bag. I can't even lie to you. That is an absolute bag. The track number 5, we've also heard this track. So I think three out the first 5 tracks, obviously she released the singles. So 3 was an absolute banger. I remember I did a reaction to this track when it first came out, man. Honestly, bro, like I kept on wheeling it up. You know what I'm saying? It's an absolute banger. I have not stopped playing this track ever since it got released. Like I'm playing it about 6 or 7 times a week minimum, you know. Such a beautiful record, man. So I'm more than happy to hear it again. This is free. Let's go. Wishing that the love was set us free. Hey. Come on.
I think that love is forgiving yourself.
Yep.
I think that love is offering your immediate help. I think that love is everything that we need in this world.
Come on.
I think the key is being honest and being yourself.
Yep.
I think love is understanding that people can change.
Come on.
And loving them anyway through every stage. I read all about love when I gave it to Jade. Love is sharing knowledge, there's so much to gain. Love is every time I put pen to the page. If I don't love what I'm doing, then I'm hardly engaged. Yeah.
But you love me, know I'm yours.
I know I'm not an innocent
Child, but I'm yours. Come on.
And if you're with me, you're safe. I know my body isn't immortal, but I am brave. I think you know it's real love. When
Guys,
it's
that's such a bar as well, man. You know, God, you love me, though I'm flawed. I know I'm not an innocent child, but I'm yours. Guys, you know, I'm a believer, you know. I'm a believer in God. I'm a Christian. And, you know, this verse or that verse really spoke to me because, listen, people think that because you're Christian, you know, you have to be perfect, you know, and people have this sort of unrealistic expectations of people that are believers, people that are Christians. We are just as flawed as you guys, or not even you guys, because I don't want to, you know, but we are just as flawed as the next person, somebody that is not a believer. The difference is we rely upon God to obviously take us through those moments where obviously we fall short, and we understand that, you know, God is able to see through our flaws, you know, and he's able to love us anyway, despite, you know, any time we may obviously, you know, do something that goes against his will for us. So yeah, like that for any believer, that line especially runs deep, man. You know?
Fear is not trusting yourself. I think that fear is keeping true information with help. I think fear can be exposed in abundance of wealth, and it creeps in when you're not loving yourself. Fear can be dressed in a form of protection. Fear can be the culprit of slow and progression. Can be impulsive and be an obsession. I think we fear with the answers, so we don't ask the questions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that shit is a lethal weapon. I think we fear being naked from the fear of rejection.
Yep.
Beauty is in the eye of the
But oh God.
then why are we obsessed with secret perfection? Fear probably hear this and feel exposed. Fear works best when love isn't close.
get free.
I remember when they said nothing in life is spirits cannot
Enter when your soul is.
She said he got a tune.
I should pull up at.
Every time I bust it,
Oh, that was free, man. And every time I hear that record, I get goosebumps, man, for real. Such a powerful message, such an empowering record, you know. Yeah, like, just again, reason why I love Simz is that she is an artist full of substance. Like, there's always some sort of message behind her music, like, you know. And this message for me, man, this message is very empowering, and it also is just very introspective as well. You know, Simz is a very introspective artist, man. Like, she's a deep thinker, you know, she's very creative. But like, this is just the foundation of life. Everything that she's talking about obviously the meaning of love. Like, in the Bible, it says that love is, you know, love is not blind, you know, love is patient, love is kind. And essentially this is what Simz is relaying back to us on this message, that love is about forgiving yourself, you know, love is about offering your immediate help. Love is everything that we need in this world, man. And it's true, man. Like, you know, love is the key to life, you know. Again, in the Bible it says that love is the greatest commandment, you know, loving God, loving yourself, and loving your neighbor. Like, love is literally what gets us through, you know. Without love, there's no point to life. I'm gonna be so honest with you. So Little Simz is obviously giving her perspective of what love means, right? And you know, again, it's just very dope to hear her talk from her point of view. She then flips in and she talks about fear, you know. With it's quite funny because like, fear is obviously the opposite of love, but obviously fear and love kind of go together at the same time, you know. So I love how she kind of flipped it. She talked about love in the first verse, and then obviously she flipped it and she talked about fear, because fear, you know, like, fear again is part of life. Fear, you know, fear stops a lot of good things happening. It's good that Simz is giving a direct explanation to how obviously fear can obviously maneuver in your life, and obviously the limitations that it can place on your life, and obviously fear can stop you obviously from progressing in life. And I love it towards the end of the verse where she said, despite all of the fears that you might have in your life, love can override fear, you know what I'm saying. But the love will never judge you because of your pain, you know what I'm saying. Just look in the mirror and say, you know, I love you unconditionally. So even when you experience fear, even when you experience times when you're anxious, you can override that with love. You know, love conquers all, as they all say, man. So it's a beautiful record, man. And obviously the little flexing that she did in the end, you know, one mob wasn't enough, so I had to get free. Listen, Little Simz, talk your shit, man. But that was a beautiful record, man. Number 6 is called Peace, and it's featuring Moses, Sumney, and Miraa. Obviously Moses Sumney, I'm not, you know, I'm familiar with him as an artist, but I'm familiar with Miraa. I'm my old distribution company. I obviously helped sign her, so I know obviously Miraa. I know her team or her manager well. Shout out to Ute, by the way. So yeah, you know, Miraa is a great artist, so yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this one's gonna sound. So this is track number 6, and this is called Peace.
for the ranges we build. Till now we can leave us out of town through the hills. She thinks about where she got gone and what it takes. All the choices, her L's and her mistakes. All you can do is try your best. So if you can't give her wisdom, at least just give her grace. The weight of the world is causing her to retreat. How can we sleep when there's murders in the streets?
Guys, that was a track from above. I can't even lie to you. Wow. Shout out to Miraa and Moses Sumney, man. Yeah. You guys, you definitely took that track to a whole nother level, man. Vocally, both sounded amazing. I think they also meshed well together. I'm saying, like, I felt like, yeah, they were all in sync. It sounded very seamless. Like, it just, you know, when like you get artists on the track and they just fit together, right? Like, that's exactly what I just heard. They just fit together. The collaboration absolutely made sense. And this was pretty deep because even diving into some of the lyrics, man, I mean, I felt like Little Simz was sort of talking from the third person, right? You know, she was 16 trekking through the rain just to build, to now whipping beamers out of town through the hills. Simz has referenced in the past that, like, back in the day, you know, she used to like literally just be a hustler. So obviously she didn't really have much then. So just in terms of going to the studio, man, like she used to just trek it on foot, you know. She used to trek it on foot. She didn't even have money to pay for transport, so yeah, she used to trek it on foot, or she used to get lifts to the studio. But essentially what she was saying is, like, she would just do anything, you know, just to get to the studio. And she was a grinder back in those days, so I'm assuming she's talking about those times. And then now obviously times have changed. She's now a household name. She's now making money, you know, she's whipping beamers out of town through the hills. I think she also mentioned this on Hello High, which is the track that she released at the top of the year. So obviously she's come a long way. And you know, again, just talking about like all her choices, all her L's, all her mistakes, you know. And she's asking for grace as well, you know. If you can't give her wisdom, at least give her some grace. I don't know if she is referring to somebody within her family that hasn't obviously given her grace, you know, through the mistakes that she's made in life. Obviously Simz, she's from a Nigerian background. Obviously I'm African, I'm Ghanaian, so growing up in an African household, man, listen, there's not real it's not like this for everybody, but you know, African parents don't tend to give you much grace, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know whether she's referencing a family member, her mom or her sisters or something like that. But yeah, it's just basically like her just, you know, like just reminiscing, man. And it's like an open letter to herself, like, you know, it's like she's journaling, man. And the message behind it, because again, it's about peace. You have to find some peace of mind in this life, guys. You've got to learn to find a peace of mind. You've got to find peace within yourself in order for you to blossom, you know, in order for you to love people, like, because you can't love people if you don't first and foremost love yourself, and if you don't have peace within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems it's giving us game right now, you know? I love the fact that obviously Simz kind of slowed it down for us. You don't know what's there, because obviously it's been a very intense start to this album. But again, Simz showing her versatility, slowing it down for us. A track that was a lot more somber, a track that was a lot more still, I think this track was meant to make you feel. It was meant to make you sit down and just, you know, just be calm, just be still, and it certainly did. So track number 7 is called Hello. Let's go.
You was in my corner allegedly, what a fake supporter. Oof. Got a clean heart, I'm tall as daughter. Daylight robbery of my soul, but my world got smaller. Couldn't believe it was somebody I know, a smooth talker. Pride and ego, law and order. Got family ready to kill for me, yeah, get a man sauced up. But what kind of woman would I aim to be if I can't even pray for me? Don't expect no loyalty is what life taught her.
Yeah, that's crazy. Again, just right off the bat, another track, you know, that I feel like is definitely about inflow. You was in my corner, allegedly, what a fake supporter. Got a clean heart, I'm Toller's daughter. Daylight robbery of my soul, my world got smaller. Couldn't believe it was somebody I know, a smooth talker. Pride and ego, law and order. I got family ready to kill for me, yeah, get a man sourced up. And you know, this is what I was thinking as well. I was thinking to myself, yeah, like, how must Little Simz' family have felt? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure they wasn't happy, and obviously Little Simz, from what I heard, she knows some people. I mean, just put it that way. She knows some people, so I'm sure like they weren't happy about the situation, the fact that she allegedly got finessed, and she allegedly got all that money stolen from her. Again, I say allegedly. So I'm pretty sure they definitely weren't happy, man. And Simz has got people ready to ride out for her. The situation must have been worse than I thought. Obviously, there's probably stuff we don't know that happened behind the scenes, that obviously information that has not been released to the public. But this seems like more. There's more to the story here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not in a good way. Not in a good way, man. Not in a good way.
What a life that threw me bricks. There's a story written by your favorite author. You're the highest paid, allegedly. God's saving grace, allegedly. You want the best for me, allegedly. But all you got is evil eye and jealousy. It's a lot to process. God complex, finding Nemo, pride and ego, law and order. I was going hard for the team, no one going harder than me. On the road tour everywhere, when I'm in the street, cross to the beat, I was writing bars in my sleep, pouring out my heart on my sleeve. He was moving like one leech. Your presence is far from the truth. They ask why I'm starving the streets. This nigga trying to hold my shit up. I'll never forget when you told me give up, and that my big dreams were far from reach. And the night broke the tide and brought Santa Beach.
Did Inflow really say that, bro? They're asking why I'm starving the streets. This nigga trying to hold up my shit, basically saying that he's trying to sabotage her work, you know, trying to obviously stop it from being released. I'll never forget when you told me give up and that my big dreams were far from I'll never forget when you told me give up and my big dreams were far from a reach. Ooh. So basically, like, Inflow allegedly was trying to keep little Simz in the box. He was trying to stop little Simz from growing. He was trying to keep little Simz. You know, there's certain people in your life, maybe you've not experienced this, that they don't want you to get bigger than them. Like they're happy with you obviously being the little homie and being the person that is, you know, under their control. But once you get big and once you start to obviously have aspirations and dreams by yourselves, they don't kind of like that because they feel threatened that you might surpass them. You know what I'm saying? So they try and keep you in that little box, right? So essentially this is what Simz is saying, that Inflow was trying to do that. He was basically trying to sabotage her, saying that my big dreams were far from a reach. What? Yo, this is crazy. I can't believe this. Wow. Guys, wow.
Imposter posing, your life ain't candid. No song you make can repair the damage. Money through you with balance, no order. You told me you were wary of the sharks and then you became one. What can anyone truly expect from a day one? No injury. This is no longer a mystery. I know exactly how we got here.
And it's again, like the fact that this came from a day one, as in, remember what I said, that little Simz and Inflow have known each other for years upon years. You know what I'm saying? They were good friends. Like, they literally, it was a brother and sister relationship. You know what I'm saying? And he said, yo, you told me to be real of the shucks and then you became one. What? That is crazy. This is essentially a diss record. You know what I'm saying? To Inflow. Like, this and the first track, Thief. So that's 2 tracks now when she's directly, you know, I'm trying to say, addressing Inflow. And she's not even hiding what she's feeling. She's letting it all out, bro. Crazy.
I had to accept I'd been had. Entitled people are lazy and as members we rationalize that. You're not for the culture, you're just for the code. They love bomb you to start then, cuff you by the heart then, watch you fall apart then. It's too late by the time they reveal their cards. I think that's an art. Recovery ain't just for addicts. When you're gaslit, it's the work of a deeply insecure person. Emotionally immature person. I don't expect you're not a flawed person, but I thought you was good at the core person.
Why does this always have to happen in the music industry? Why? Why can't we just have something good, guys? And why can't it just be like long lasting. Why does this always have to happen, bro? Like, this is crazy, man. Like, this is, oh my days, man. This is just very upsetting, bro. I can't even lie. And this was just straight bars. You know, very, you know, minimalistic instrumentation. Just a few chords, a few strings, and just Simz was just going off. It's just like the producer Miles is saying, listen, just get it off your chest, say what you gotta say. You know, we don't need, you know what I'm saying? We don't need no big production. I'm gonna just give you the mic, play some simple chords here and there, and you just go off on one. That's how it just seemed like to me. It just seems like Simz was just venting, bro. This is an assassination of someone's character, like for real. And according to Simz, it's all justified. Like, listen, Simz must have a case here. She must. You know, so I can't imagine that Simz is gonna lie about all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, this is from her perspective. So again, obviously, there's two sides to every story. So I can't heavily go on one side of the fence. But this is just, this is not good. This is not good. So track number 8, guys. This is the track that I've already heard. Well, I've heard a snippet of it, and guys, honestly, this track for me is level on par with Point and Kill. It's an absolute vibe. Oh my days. Obongjayar and Little Simz, their chemistry is unmatched. Let me just play it, guys. This is track number 8, Lion. My super. Hey.
Bet you never seen a young black woman so fly.
Simma.
But the heart of a lion, Nigerian pride.
Hey.
Everybody stop out. They say that the task force is waiting for me outside.
Woo.
Yo, is you really down for the bride? If I get caught, no, I dedicate my life. I'm fire, If it gets kicking off, you a day,
You got there, my. Hey.
Let's go. Think it's the time to finally take my throne.
Woo.
Forget I ain't true, I made my own. I rep the power in me, no frame.
No more.
It's the goal when I keep up. Clear to see they can't do what she does. Come on, follow the leader. I'm running like you forgive it till you free speaker.
Don't break your neck. Hey. Something like hey. So soulful, man. Something like this.
I'm just like I'm lower than a crime you see. The rest when we see the love start swinging. Now I'm up in this bitch looking at the TV. Bags
Don't care for what they say. That's my superpower. We don't care for what they say. That's my superpower. We don't care for what they say. That's my superpower. That's my superpower. We don't care for what they say. That was Lion. Oh, see, what did I tell you guys? Oh my days. Yo, listen, that was straight from the ancestors. That was straight from the motherland. And I love how Little Simz, any opportunity she gets, man, she's always paying homage, you know, to her African Nigerian roots, man. Again, I'm Ghanaian, so for me, this hit me differently, man. Like, I love how Little Simz is always paying, you know what I'm saying, homage, you know what I'm saying, to the motherland. You get what I mean? And yeah, man, like Obongjayar and Little Simz do it again. Like, their chemistry is seriously unmatched. And I remember, you know, from the interview she did with the BBC, she was talking about like Obongjayar and how they just have insane chemistry. And she said that like what her and Obongjayar realized is the fact that like when they get into the studio, something just clicks. They can't explain it. It's something that, you know, you would only be able to understand if you're there in the studio with them. But they said that they've just clocked that something works within them, and you know, every time they link up, they make absolute magic, man. Like, this to me is definitely on par with Point and Kill. I might even like it better than Point and Kill. Point and Kill was an absolutely, like, Point and Kill, like, even just to say Point and Kill was a banger is an understatement, man. But like, this is definitely on par with it, man. Like, it's so just like, you know, straight out the school of Fela Kuti, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and again, it just shows you just how deep Little Simz' bag is. Track number 9 is called Enough and is featuring Yukimi. So if I'm pronouncing that not correctly, but yeah, I think it's called Yukimi. So yeah, let's see how this one sounds, man. What?
Once you got it, I still at home. I heard you from the ghetto. Ain't nothing like your average.
Yeah.
She on a different level. You think you're really feeling? Ha 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 ha, I'm screaming. Don't interrupt my soul. Okay, bitch, carry on. I thought the world of you. You thought the worst of me. I'm wrong from head to toe. My skis is rock and roll. You see my lungs blow. You relax slow. Waste my time to think no no. You ain't gonna lose. You should probably go. Don't make me too drunk. 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 I'll almost had enough.
Yeah.
Don't make me too drunk. Don't make me too drunk. Don't make me too drunk. My time is more important. Her ego on a no mask. Like you didn't know I is that girl. I am an electric black girl. I'm not no one to test. I can't take disrespect. So pipe down with all that chest. My actions speak for me. Say less. I'm in too deep when it comes to music.
Yeah.
They wanna know who I'm moving with.
Yeah.
Just know the breaks survive. Maybe that's right, 'cause so alive. Bad luck, yeah, that's so always in a time to wait. Don't know if you ain't gonna move. Don't make me too drunk. 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 I've almost had enough. Don't make me too drunk. Don't make me too drunk. Don't make me too drunk.
Yo, Scott, that was enough, man. And yo, that track had so much life and personality into it. That was groovy as fuck, and it's quite funny because, like, that felt like a mesh of different genres. Like, I heard a bit of rock and roll in there. I heard a bit of, funk in there, neo soul, Motown. Like, it was just so many things piped into one track, but it sounded, guys, it sounded groovy. Like, it sounded groovy. And the chorus, man, like, the chorus was very catchy. Don't make me pull the plug, don't make me pull the plug, don't make me pull the plug, I've had enough. Oof. I must say, the features on this album so far, man, have been absolutely flawless. Like, all of the features so far have made sense to me, and it's great to see an artist, take the time out to choose features on their tracks or choose collaborators on their tracks very, very carefully. Like, and Simz is definitely the type of artist that does that. I mean, has there ever been a feature on a Little Simz track that hasn't made sense? I don't think there has been. You know what I'm saying? And that's how like, Simz takes her art very seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of features nowadays, to me, a lot of features I hear on albums just don't make any sense whatsoever. Like, they just feel like placeholders. They don't bring anything to the record whatsoever. But I'm glad that Simz is very she is very protective over her art, right? Like, she's very selective on who she collaborates with. So, like, I love the fact that Simz does that quality control, man, for real. But, like, listen, this, like, for me, again, the key word for me from this whole album is versatility. It's versatility. Simz, honestly, there's nothing that she can't do, man. You know what I'm saying? And this track also sounded like it sounded like a track I could hear on Grey Area, yeah, man, I love it. Like, so far for me, the only track that I felt like was a bit was Young, but apart from that, guys, man, every track so far has sounded amazing. You know what I'm saying? Track number 10 is called Blood and is featuring Wretch 32 and Cashh. Shout out to Wretch 32 and Cashh. Obviously, Wretch 32 just released his album a couple of weeks ago, which we did a review to, me and Kevin, on our channel. For great album. Obviously, Little Simz featured on one of the tracks on his album. Cashh as well. Shout out to Cashh. Cashh has been, he's been having a great run lately. He featured on Wretch's album, and now he's featured on Little Simz's album. So yeah, shout out to Cashh. I know him well. So yeah, let's see how this track is gonna sound, man. This is called Blood.
Hello.
Twin! Wagwan! Where are you? And how's mum?
Wait, hold on. Why don't you phone mum? Long time I ain't heard from you. Couldn't get one word from you.
No, that's why I just phoned sorry. I spoke to mum on her Earth strong.
Well, 8 months ago. Don't try that. It's me every day that she hears from. Arthritis in her right leg and my right saying you see no wrongs.
It's like the woman won't relax. I already told her quit the nurse job. I said I'll put her on a wage. What can I say if she just wants to work what?
Well, you can't replace her son with money. Yo, why are you even in the country?
Of course I'm never in the country. It's called the world tour funnily. I know you hit me for his money.
Well, some of us ain't got it like that, and that's not true. I'll call to get with you, and you say you'll hit me right back. Then you're gone for months, but tonight you finally called for once.
For once?
Yes, for once.
You're saying
I'm
for once.
surprised.
You're saying for once.
When do you ever call me?
Alright. Distance in the dark. I feel we grown up. If you want greener grass, you have to wonder where you are. Truth is, I've just been burning bridges, finding women, hurting siblings that be tired of women. Found some people, but they look like niggas.
Well, even Jay.
That's another day. I've been in the club, right, drinking liquor, working through the night, but I'm working with it. Something about our ends are missing because the mountaintop it ain't so fulfilling.
That was blood, so now I understand what that meant. Obviously, blood as in blood family member. Guys, I'm at the point where it's like I'm lost for words. What do I even say? Like, I love the back and forth between Wretch and Little Simz. Obviously, Little Simz was talking from the perspective of her, and then Wretch was talking from the perspective of her brother. I didn't even know her brother was an artist. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. I need to actually look into that. I wonder if I know him, but like, lovely to see the exchange, the dialogue between her and her brother. Obviously, Wretch was representing her brother. It would actually been interesting to hear, you know, her brother actually play his part and then Little Simz play her part. I think that would have been interesting. But no, Wretch did a phenomenal job because obviously Wretch is one of the best storytellers, one of the best lyricists, one of the best MCs that we have, and he did a phenomenal job. Also, shout out to Cashh as well on the hook. You know, brought that emotion that was needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, this was a beautiful sort of like personal look into how sort of their relationship, you know, has been. Yeah, it was just pretty interesting to hear about their family dynamic and, you know, just, you know, their relationship as brother and sister, man. And it seems like obviously their relationship has gone through a bit of turbulence, you know, obviously him being an artist, you know, obviously he's busy, same with Little Simz, she's busy, but it seems like, you know, he hasn't really been checking in on the family, and he hasn't really been obviously checking in just in general. And, you know, seems like they hadn't spoken in a while, and it just seems like this song was just about them obviously catching up and obviously just airing out their grievances. And yeah, it's good to hear again both perspectives, and this kind of reminds me of when Simz, you know, I remember in Simbi, I think Little Q, what was the sort of track where she was talking from her, I think from her cousin's perspective as well. And I love when Little Simz does this, man. Like, and ultimately, you know, the bridge and the chorus, my family is my armor through the muddiest water. So no matter, you know, what disagreements you have, no matter if you haven't talked to your sibling for a while, you guys are still family. Like, blood is thicker than water. Hence the title, blood. You know, blood is thicker than water. Like, we're always gonna love each other. We may argue, we may fight. You know, we may be a distance apart from one another, but at the same time, you know, we are still family. And it was also quite interesting to hear what her brother said in terms of, I only phoned you because I need a friend. So at the end of you know, the last verse, like, he admitted that he only phoned her because he needed a friend, and that is powerful, man. That is powerful, and I'm glad to hear him sort of say that, because as men, you know, we are not really taught to be vulnerable. We are taught to keep a lot of stuff in, right? So just the fact that he was able to call his sister and just say, you know, the only reason why I called you, it took him a while, but the only reason why I called you is I need a friend. And when it cut off right there, that I feel like that was powerful, man. That was really, really powerful. So track number 11, guys, is called Lotus, and it's featuring Michael Kiwankua and Yussef Days. I'm really looking forward to hearing this track. This track and the last track featuring Sampha. So this is called Lotus.
you got me looking out the window. Mood might change depending on how the wind blow. When I was young, no one told me health ain't always physical. Looking around, I ain't no different from my kinfolk. I pray you hear with word, too jobless, no man can curse. I pray that I'm a vessel once they give it all I've learned. Self-love put me first, the way it's my story on earth.
My dreams adore me. You kept trying to control me. But your God is for me. So I'll be moving on. Your head is aching, but my heart is breaking. Like trees from a flower, I see the breaking
On fire, my life on fire. Dropped out of college, still I made it through the wire. Betting on myself to take me higher. I'm the supplier, 1,000 millionaires within. I'll go back to top.
That's a bar as well. Dropped out of college, still I made it through the wire. Obviously referencing Kanye, you know, college dropout, through the wire. Yeah, wow, fucking bar.
I room to below. I might have to fire. It's more than evident. I know I'm not their desire. Can't tell me what the future holds. Or the day I retire. They tell me simply it's in your hands to reach into the choir.
Guys, that was effing cinematic, bro. Like, that was just... And I think this song sums up what the album is all about. You know, Lotus, obviously, it's named after the album, but it's little Simz just, again, you heard it, moving on and blossoming into this new sort of, into this new creature. You know, I feel like this track is this, it signifies her coming out of the other side of everything that she's been dealing with. You know, the whole situation with Inflow, any other personal stuff she's been dealing with, and this is her coming out the, like, this track seems like a track of, it seems like a track of triumph. It seems like a track of new life. That's what this track, that's what it feels like to me. Just obviously listening to the production, hearing obviously the lyrics. Yeah, this is the new beginning, right? Shout out to Michael Kiwankua and Yussef Days, man. You know, again, another fantastic collaboration. You know, I mean, listen, honestly, this track couldn't be bad. When you got Michael Kiwankua and Yussef Days on the record, it's and it's quite interesting because Michael Kiwankua is he is a frequent collaborator of Inflow also. So the fact that he's on a track like this is pretty interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you know sometimes when there's mutuals in the camp and then when two people in the camp sort of split, it's like other people around them, they feel like they have to choose sides, and some of them do, right? So is this Michael, I'm only guessing and speculating, but is this Michael Kiwankua choosing Little Simz' side? Because listen, I think Inflow produced 2 or 3 of his albums, right? Had a few bars for Inflow as well. Maybe I might be reaching, but you know, like even the line "you try to control me," Little Simz has referenced this quite a few times on this album already, especially on some of the tracks that are directly, you know, are directly, so not even indirectly, but are directly aimed at Inflow. So yeah, you try to control me, but your God isn't for me, so I'll be moving on. So those lines are pretty strong, and I'm assuming those are about Inflow. So yeah, it's pretty interesting that Michael is on this record. Like, has he, you know, is he having issues with Inflow as well? Or is he just playing neutral? I don't know. But guys, yeah, that track for me, that was a track of triumph, man. You know what I'm saying? That track number 12 is called Lonely.
Tempted it 4 times. Lost my confidence and you wouldn't believe why.
Yeah.
Sitting in this video with my head in my hands, thinking what am I to do with this music I can't rap. Faithful in the heart, I'm caught in a crossfire. You selling me lies and saying I must buy. Listen to my mental that I worked hard to protect. It's causing pains in my chest, so it's best that I cut ties. Trying to make it out of these bearing my whole truth. I'm packing the fuckery, I'm trying to heal through. Imagine telling no to somebody you trust, and that same somebody then holds it against you. It's almost like somebody's trying to end you. I was lonely making it down until I realized all I needed to get through. So lonely. Race against time. I'll pray for you. God is who we both need.
So guys, that was Lonely, man, and boy. Wow. Guys, there's nothing, I just feel like I'm a broken record at this point, you know? But remember I said at the beginning, oh, she did that interview. I know I keep referencing the BBC, you know, sort of performance / interview that she did. So I encourage you guys to go and watch it for yourself. But remember I told you that she said that like she lost confidence while she was making this album. And listen, the lyrics are proof of that. You know, I was lonely making an album, attempted it 4 times, lost my confidence, and you wouldn't believe why. Like, she had literally lost her confidence in making music. She didn't really know who she was. She even said that she didn't even know she wanted to make music anymore. And I think also she referenced it in some of the lyrics as well, how she was thinking to herself she would just stick to acting. But it's crazy how somebody so talented, yeah, can have that loss of confidence. And she experienced writer's block, which a lot of artists do, especially rappers. I mean, Kendrick, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, my favorite artist, and he has experienced writer's block before. And this is just something that happens. But yeah, it's just crazy that all of the stuff that she was dealing with impacted her on, like, not only on a professional level, but on a personal level as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, line that I referenced not too long ago. I'm used to making it with inflow. Can I do without? Obviously, these are the self-doubts that she had about herself at the time. And it's crazy how, like, anxiety and, you know, it's crazy how anxiety will just play on your mind, and it will make you experience stuff like imposter syndrome, you know? Like, someone as great as Little Simz doesn't even know if she wants to do music anymore. Like, that's deep. But I feel like, again, this speaks to a lot of people's experience, a lot of creative people's experiences, man. You know, there are times where you just can't think of an idea, or you just, you know, you don't think you're good enough. And the way Little Simz just delivered her verses, and again, you know, just the stellar production in the background, man, this was dope, man. I love this, and absolutely love this, man. And yeah, I'm glad Little Simz found herself again, you know what I mean? And she's created an absolute masterpiece, so hats off to Little Simz. And she even said she was proud of herself. You know, once she got out of this sort of rut, she was proud of herself that she was able to finish it. She said, in life, it doesn't matter what you do. The best advice she'll give to somebody is, no matter what you do, try and finish it. Try and see it through the end, you know, and she's seen it through the end. And track number 13 is the last track on the album, and it's called Blue, featuring Sampha. Sampha's one of my favorites, so I'm looking forward to hearing this. This is Blue.
All of your pennies were limitless. All of your spending be frivolous. All eyes are on you to cover the damages. Would you be generous managing? Would you be calm or be panicking? Does the counting us as savages? How do we weigh up or balance this? How would you feel? What would you do if your life was covered in bandages? If you had a family of 4 and the kids wanted things you could never afford. Bailiffs are banging the door. Parents are losing their memory. Your brother is in penitentiary. He writing to you, but he ain't in memory. How would you feel? What would you do if you didn't know your identity? The love of your life is wanting to see you, but work is draining your energy. What would you say to your baby girl when she asks you about white supremacy? This generation is fucking the kids up, and I'm just providing the remedies. How would you feel? What would you do if you had to write in love and memory? Were you all afraid of seeing the casket making a hole in the cemetery? The truth is hard to swallow. The truth is God still loves your enemies. I know it's not being Jonah. I know I come with a different aroma. I know my mind is a textbook that they can learn from, even though I ain't got a diploma. Why are we waiting? What is the hold up? Ain't no one asking to live in our shoes. From the same place with different views. Asking for help was never the move. Too much pride and too much to lose. It's true.
There's a lot that we carry on. You and I found a way to be strong.
So how would you feel?
Guys, what a way to end this. What a way to end this. Sampha, you know Sampha, yeah? His voice is just so calming, so soothing, so just, you're at peace when you listen to Sampha, you know? He has you reflect on your life. I can't even lie to you, I can't lie. But guys, what a way to end this. You know, and for me, the last, you know, bit of Sampha's chorus sums it up. There's light at the end of the tunnel, carry on. You and I found the break to be strong. You know, and that is the message for me. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't matter what you're going through in life, doesn't matter if you've gone through a rocky period, don't matter if you're going through a season where everything's just going to shit. Carry on, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Sampha said it best, you know, and Simz is just on a different level, and she's proved it on this album. Guys, that was Lotus, and let me just say this, yeah? Let me just say this, and let me not mince my words. Simz has this proven to the whole world that she is her. She is the prize. She didn't need inflow to make a masterpiece of an album. She said it, that I am the one. Not you, I am the one. And guys, I mean, I'm just left in awe of Simz at this point. This is for, again, I need to listen to this album again because I don't want to crown it a classic when I've just heard it once. And I know there's some things I still need to unpack. But what I heard, you know, the 13 tracks that I heard, this is borderline a classic. Borderline. I need to hear it again, guys. I'm very reluctant to say it's a classic because I don't want to just crown it a classic once I've heard it once. But guys, from what I've heard already, this could be very well be Simz's 4th classic. For me, this is definitely top 3 Simz album. It might even be top 2. It might even be on par with Simbi. I don't even know. But guys, we're witnessing an unprecedented run from Little Simz. Who in the UK has ever made 4 classic albums? Ever? Who? You tell me. And Simz has potentially done that. And guys, man, like, this was a beautiful album from inside and out. It was raw, it was unfiltered, it was cutthroat, it was just, it had everything in it, you know. It was versatile, it was different, it was experimental, you know. And Simz's pen is just different. Like, Simz just went to a whole nother level. I remember Simz on Hello High, she said that, I think one of the lyrics was, I'm taking it to another level this year. And she's absolutely done that. She's taken it to another freaking level. Just when I thought that there was no more levels for Simz to reach, she absolutely proved me wrong. And she just went into a different bag. She went into a different stratosphere. She poured her whole heart into this. And yes, obviously this album, you know, it's obviously her venting, it's her obviously getting off her chest everything that she's been through, especially with info. And you can tell that that situation cut her deep, right? But they always say that through despair, through sorrow, you know, an artist can produce their best work. It's no coincidence that a lot of our favorite albums have come from artists that have gone through just an absolute shit of a time, you know. In pain can come beauty, you understand? In pain can come triumph and joy, right? And this album is just, it's just triumphant, man. And it just solidifies Simz as one of the GOAT rappers of our generation. You know, I'm talking male and female. I'm talking not in just in the UK, I'm talking in the US. And Simz needs to be in these conversations now. Like she's always been in those conversations for me. Like ever since obviously she went on this incredible run, but now it's solidified. Simz is different level. Guys, this is an absolute masterpiece. Shout out to you, Miles, as well, for producing such a masterpiece. You've proven your stock has gone up tenfold after this album. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of artists that are going to want to work with you. Kudos to you, my bro. A round of applause to you. And Simz, a round of applause to you as well. You've produced another masterpiece and you've proven that you don't need, you know what I'm saying, you know, inflow in order to, you know what I'm saying, produce a stellar piece of work. You know what I'm saying? Simz, shout out to you, man. Absolutely phenomenal album. And this is probably, you know, gonna be in my top 2, top 3 albums. It's already in my list of album of the year. You know what I'm saying? Where it ends up, I don't know. But guys, this was a fantastic project from top to bottom. The production was just brilliant. Simz's lyrical performance, her pen, you know what I'm trying to say, was just excellent. Like the collaborators, the features were excellent. Guys, This is history we're witnessing. Simz, shout out to you every single time. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The full reaction will be on Patreon. So guys, if you want to see that, you know what I'm saying, sign up to our Patreon. But thank you for tuning in. And I'll be back again real soon for another one. But until then, people, I'm out. Peace.